Last week, we told you about how North Carolina is leading the nation in rolling out electric vehicles and building charging corridors to make the technology easier for everyone to adopt. But to do that, states are using data points that help utility companies and EV manufacturers get a better understanding of how to meet demand. And that demand is growing rapidly as the feds invest billions to get more zero-emission vehicles on the road by the end of the decade.
With $7.5 billion invested to build out charging corridors and a promise to electrify the federal fleet, the Biden administration has gone all in on this evolving technology.
One of the requirements of the sort of big government EV infrastructure bill for getting funding for these public charging stations are the ability to pay with a credit card.
In the race to zero-emission technology, Tesla has been the leading manufacturer of EVs and set the standard in terms of its charging technology. In fact, it's been coined the North American charging standard as other companies have adopted the tech.
More choice over where they charge, and it's going to make charging a lot easier for them, regardless of which physical connection their cars have.
The scale of the NACS is vast, and the demand will be as well. To measure that and make sure demand is met, organizations like the Electric Power Research Institute, or EPRI, are preparing the electric grid to support accelerated development of EV infrastructure.
If I have a lot of trucks I'm trying to electrify in the next, just say 10 years, and now I got to figure out which utilities and what's going on the grid.
In its EVs to Scale program, EPRI is collaborating with companies like Amazon, the U.S. Department of Energy, and leading electric companies. Britta Gross with EPRI says as the government, industry, and certain companies' fleets align on the aggressive 2030 goals, there's a great need for action to prepare charging sites and the grid.
One, to drive confidence, we need the data. We need to know, utilities across the country just need to know when and where is the load coming. Can we develop and introduce tools for the public good that allow these massive industries to see what's happening?
The Institute is working on finding a solution for optimizing charging while cars are idle.
What an opportunity to optimize when those vehicles charge, where they charge, and use nighttime predominantly. Use nighttime because there's never a peak at nighttime. There are never peaks at nighttime. There are big valleys we could fill in.
While EPRI and others work on solutions and give legislators data points to craft legislation around EVs for the future, the hard work continues.
Is this a challenge? Maybe even the challenge of our lifetime? Yeah. Can we do it? Oh, yeah.
EPRI has released an interactive online electric transportation grid planning tool. It is free and allows users to explore how quickly EVs are expected in different regions and also identifies energy needs across the United States.